Hi everyone, this is Brad. I promised you a short tutorial on the fun of using text frame options, so I thought I would do that today. I'm going to start in InDesign and open up a new document. And for this one, I'm going to choose Print, Letter. I'm going to just go with the settings here. I could actually create columns and things here, but I'm going to show you a better way to do it as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to create my document. It has some standard margin sizes. I'm also going to go to layout and create guides. So remember those? That was what you used to set up your National Park Services document. So I'm going to have these guides fit to the margins. If I set it to page, it would measure out from the edge of the pages. So for now we're going to use margins, and we're going to hit preview so we can actually see what's going on. So I'm going to watch as I start creating rows. Alright, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to create 6 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. And if you'll notice, they measure from the margins, not from the edges. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and create a text frame. Alright, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw down, I'm just going to make it 5 columns wide for now, and I'm going to paste in some text from Edgar Allan Poe's story, The Telltale Heart. Alright, so here it is. Right now it stretches from side to side of the text column. So with the text column selected, I can go to Object, Text Frame Options. Alright, and have my preview set. I'm going to change this to 2 columns, and let's see what 3 columns look like. Those are okay. They're kind of narrow, but I think there's enough for this. Alright. And let's see if we can get to the end of the section that I copied. I guess I copied a pretty big section, so let's go. There we go. That's the end of it. Alright. So, I could decide to go back to 2 columns. So I think actually that might look pretty nice. I'm going to go back to Object, Text Frame Options, and set it back to 2 columns. And this is while the text frame is selected. The gutter is automatically set to match the gutter that you created for your guidelines, and you can of course increase that. You can go here, Text Frame Options, you can increase the gutter, and then it's going to be a little bigger than let's make it a little bigger. Then I'm going to close this up. So we've got 2 columns here. Here's the text for the title, so I'm going to select that, and I'm going to select the character menu, and I'm going to make this 18, and I'm going to make it bold. Actually, let's make it a little bigger. Now what happens is you can see that the Telltale Heart is restrained or contained inside that column. But there's a great little trick for making this text here span both columns. So click into the paragraph, and over here you've got a little hamburger menu, and I'm going to pull this in a little bit so you can see. Here's the menu that pops up, and go down and choose Span Columns. And I still have this my cursor in that paragraph. I'm going to choose span columns. I'm going to hit preview, and I'm going to set it. I can set it for 2. Right now I only have 2, so that's the same as hitting 2, and I can click OK. What happens is when I span columns, here, let's go here. All right. When I span columns, I set up a zone here, and none of the other text will encroach onto that zone, which is very nice. So I can go ahead and buy Poe. I'm going to put some space underneath this paragraph. So with this in, with my cursor in that paragraph, I'm going to go here and knock down some space. Here's the space after a paragraph. Here's the space before a paragraph. So I've got a nice spacing now. And the other thing I can do with a text frame is settings is text frame options. I can actually inset this text inside the text frame. So let's look at it this way. Say I wanted to put a colored background. I'm selecting the text frame and I'm going to pick a yellow, and let's make that a tint. Okay, which is all fine and dandy, but the text is still bumped right up against the edges of the text frame. All right, so I'm going to select all the text, go to Object Text Frame Options, use Inset Spacing, and as I start to increase the inset spacing, you see I've now drawn a zone, kind of given a padding around that, almost like when you create padding for a cell in web design. So let's look at this now. We could create another story here. And here's more of the telltale heart. And here I could again go to, I could keep this at 2 columns, or let's select the text frame, make it 3 columns, okay. All right, that looks great. And then once again, I'm going to go to select the first line, go to span columns, and I'm going to do span columns, and I'm going to choose 3. Okay. Which is a very scary tale. So here I'm going to go ahead and pull this back. I'm going to go to Minion Pro, make it bold, increase the size, and we could justify that. There we go. And then I'm going to add some space underneath it. Okay, and I can leave this the way it is because I don't want to inset it, so I'm going to hit W. And then I'm going to go ahead and let's see if I can find a picture. Edgar Allan Poe. Images. These are pretty easy to find. This is a small one. Normally I would look for something that was pretty big, so that's kind of nice. So let's grab that. I've dragged it onto my desktop, and now I'm going to place it in my document. Here is File. Oh, excuse me. I'm back in InDesign. Place. Computer's a little slow. Here's the picture of Edgar Allan Poe. Alright. Okay. And then I'm just going to click. I'm going to go to Text Wrap. And I still need some work with this. So I'm going to go and open up the Text Wrap window. And here I can make settings for the text wrap on all sides. So right now it's text wrap around the object's shape, text wrap around the bounding box. Since it's a rectangle, that's almost the same. So I'm going to go ahead and click off the little link so that I can do individual. So as you can see, that is moving out. Alright. I can also use my arrow key. And it also, so that's how you set the text frame. Now this isn't ideal because it's a pretty big picture. I might decide that I want to bring that in a little bit. In fact, I don't really need that much. I also might decide that for this article, I might want smaller text. And I also might decide that I want justified text. So that actually looks better. Because I've got a little bit, so this is 10/12. Every time I make that 10/12, okay. And I might decide that now I want a little extra. My text wrap box is open. Might want a little bit more, make it 7. And I think I'm okay for the top and the bottom. I want to move that up. Yeah. I might want 3 lines of text at the top. So there. Alright. Oops. I can actually have negative text wrap. So that actually looks pretty good. I have a line here and a space here. I might decide I want to do indents for those, but we're going to leave this right now. So here you go. Hope that helped.